The SOS Mystery on Mount Asahi. On the evening of July 24th, 1989, a police helicopter from Kamikawa District was flying over Asahi, the highest peak on Japan's northernmost island, Hokkaido. On board, rescuers were searching for two tourists who had recently gone missing on the mountain slopes. Before long, they spotted a large SOS sign. The missing hikers were eventually found a couple of kilometers from the letters, formed from birch tree trunks, but when questioned, they left emergency personnel stunned. The rescued individuals claimed they had nothing to do with the SOS sign and didn't know anything about it. The next day, near the site of the SOS sign, human remains were discovered, showing signs of animal bites. Further investigations only deepened the mystery. The case would go on to grip Japan for months, filled with contradictions that investigators could only untangle a year later. The playground of the gods. The Japanese love traveling, especially within their own country. Due to Japan's size and population density, untouched natural areas are limited. On the northern island of Hokkaido, the Taisetsuzan National Park attracts countless visitors. Its crown jewel is Mount Asahi, Hokkaido's tallest mountain at 2,291 meters. In the language of the indigenous Ainu people, the mountain is known as Kamui Mintara, meaning the playground of the gods, and today it serves as a destination for all kinds of outdoor adventures. In winter, skiers and snowboarders flock to its slopes, while summer draws hikers and trekkers to the park's trails. Tourist hubs are equipped with modern amenities, from cable cars to souvenir shops, but much of the park remains wild, home to bears and covered in dense, often impassable vegetation. Asahi is also an active volcano, and fumaroles, vents releasing hot gases, are common in the area. The first disappearance. In late July 1989, another pair of tourists, a couple from Tokyo, set off to explore the park. Everything went smoothly until their descent from Mount Asahi toward the Chubetsu River, where they lost contact. Local police and rescuers used to such situations promptly launched a search. On the evening of July 24th, they spotted a massive SOS sign from the helicopter, made from 5-meter-long birch trunks. The sign measured 18 meters wide and 5 meters tall. Initially, rescuers praised the tourists' ingenuity. The hikers were soon found a couple kilometers north of the sign. However, when praised for their resourcefulness, the pair insisted they had never made the SOS sign and had no idea what rescuers were talking about. Their only explanation for going off trail was a sudden downpour, which had forced them to take shelter in a nearby cave. This strange twist suggested something far more serious was at play, another previously unreported disappearance, the second operation. The next day, rescuers returned to the SOS site. There, they discovered scattered human bones, clearly chewed by animals, later identified as foxes. Judging by their condition, the remains had been there for several years. The gender could not be immediately determined, so experts from the nearby Asahikawa Medical University were called in. Their initial conclusion, the bones belonged to a woman. This only deepened the mystery. No women were listed as missing in the Taisetsuzan area. To complicate things further, a backpack was found near the site. Inside were toiletries and a cassette recorder with 4 tapes. Most tapes contained popular anime songs from the time, but one held a chilling recording of a terrified man's voice, a cry for help. The desperate recording lasted 2 minutes and 17 seconds. In a strained, panicked voice, the man pleaded for help, repeatedly using the SOS signal. "I'm at the spot where I first saw the helicopter. The bamboo thickets are too dense, I can't get out. Please, take me from here." The message ended. But there were problems. The voice was male, not female, and there was no cliff nearby, as the voice claimed. The mystery quickly became national news, and journalists flooded the area. One HBC TV reporter found something even more intriguing: a notebook and a driver's license inside a tree hollow, belonging to a man named Kenji Iwamura from Konan City in Aichi Prefecture on Honshu. His name did appear on missing persons lists. He'd vanished in 1984, 5 years earlier. The obvious assumption was that the voice belonged to Iwamura, but his parents said the voice didn't sound like him. That still left the question, who was the woman whose remains were found near the SOS sign, and where were Iwamura's remains? Months later, the case seemed to hit a dead end until a new analysis in February 1990 overturned the initial findings. Experts determined the bones were actually male, not female. The earlier misidentification was likely due to the fragmented state of the skeleton and the victim's small stature. The picture became clearer. Somehow, during a solo trek, Kenji Iwamura found himself stranded on a cliff and recorded a plea for help after spotting a helicopter, possibly hoping it would return. Whether by accident or intent, the recording was made as he waited. Eventually, he likely descended the cliff, possibly injuring himself in the process, as the bones showed signs of trauma. He then created the massive SOS sign, but it was all in vain. This tragic story had a heartbreaking ending. Yet many questions remained unanswered. Why didn't his parents recognize his voice? Maybe fear and the poor audio quality distorted it. How could an injured man cut down and arrange so many birch trunks? Rescuers estimated it would take several days and immense effort. Where was the tool he used? No axe or cutting tool was ever found. Why hadn't the sign deteriorated after 5 years? Why hadn't it been discovered earlier, especially with so many tourists in the area? To this day, the SOS incident continues to intrigue those with a vivid imagination. But what do you think really happened on Mount Asahi? Was Kenji Iwamura truly alone, or was there someone else involved? How did he manage to build that enormous SOS sign while likely injured and starving? And why did it go unnoticed for 5 whole years in such a popular hiking area? Could there be more to this story than what was ever officially revealed? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you found this story as haunting and fascinating as I did, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more strange and cinematic tales from the world of adventure, history, and mystery. Thanks to everyone who's already supported the channel. If you believe in stories that dig deeper, that honor history, craft, and creativity, consider supporting the channel. Even a small donation helps keep these films alive. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.